matters the most when you actually feel like whether it's big, whether it's small, if it brings you joy, it makes it worth it to put your time, your effort, your energy into it.
And I feel like it helps like my soul too. And just like meeting you, because I follow you. I followed you for what, 2020?
Yeah.
Was that it?
I mean, possibly, yeah. That was when I was the most active, when I was working from home. It was when COVID 2019, I started working from home. So I feel like I started being so much more active on social media. Like I was doing my Instagram lives, I was doing giveaways, I was doing all these types of videos, cooking and dancing and sharing a lot more. And like I mentioned earlier, like that's when it shifted for me even more, because I was like, this was real, this was mine, and no one could take it away. Like no one could. I mean, obviously, if social media was to be deleted, like TikTok, or I'm sure, yes, but it was just something that brought me joy, and it was mine, and I earned it, and I built it, and I don't know if you ever saw when I did my first toy drive. It was an idea that I got. I went to TJ one time with my parents for something. It was like a 1-day trip. We went and came back, and I was just seeing like the little kids, at the border when you're gonna cross, and how they were like selling like chicles or like little candies, like whatever it was, and I thought to myself, like, that was my dad one day, like that was my dad, and even like probably in a worse situation, because he had a rough childhood. So I remember seeing that and coming back home and being like, what can I do with my social media? And that was like my first big thing that I like did for me, which was I said, I want to do a toy drive. I want to do a toy drive. And I was so like entusiasmada, like I'm gonna make this happen. I'm gonna post about it. And I was so scared. I was like, are my followers gonna show up? Like, are they gonna donate? Are they, you know? And when I did that, the day that I created so I started posting, right? And then my idea was, okay, I'm gonna reach out to friends and accounts that I had on there that had businesses, that nails, lashes, nail salons too, like all kinds of stuff. My friend, she works at Dunkin'. I was like, she gave me gift cards. So I needed things to kind of also not just be like, hey guys, you guys want to donate to my toy drive? Like this is what I want to do. I want to take toys to the kids in TJ for Christmas. Yeah. I didn't want to, I also felt like, okay, but I also want to give back to them.
Right.
For supporting, So that's when I reached out to friends and followers that I had connections with, and that they were able to like give something. So even one year, I think my friend that works at Dunkin', she even gave me like a coffee maker, and I was like,
that's
oh my
awesome.
God, yeah. So I had all these things that I was able to give away. So people, when they donated, I was able to do that, right? And yeah, like a lot of people. Okay, so when I did the toy drive, though, I remember the day of, I was like drop off, right? Drop off day. I think I had like 5 toys. Aww. And like 2 or 3 of them were from my mom. And I was so sad. I was like, oh my goodness. But what happened was everybody was just donating like through Venmo, through Zelle.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And I think when I reached like $800, I was just like mind blown. Like, oh my gosh. Like, because to me, every dollar that somebody donated meant like they trust me. Like they trust that I am going to use this money, go to the store, buy these toys, and really give back, which was truly my intention. But it's not easy for people to trust somebody online now. And the things like that was when it's like, this is why it means so much to me, and this is why it's important to me, and this is why I can't post something that's not real. And that's when baby daddy stopped being posted.
Well, let me introduce you. Hi guys, welcome to I Treasure Podcast, and today we have our guest Isabel. She's an influencer. She's on Instagram, and I met her today, and she's inspiring. She's on her own healing journey, and yeah. So, do you want to share a little bit why you started your page?
Okay, I'll say hi. Hi. Like, hi. Why I started my page, I started it many, many years ago, over 13 for sure, because my son's about to be 13 this year. And I remember being pregnant and sharing the pictures of like the baby bump and the pregnancy and how that was going and stuff. But I think at that time, it was just it was like Facebook, like MySpace. That's where we were going to Instagram, and I started posting. But I was really young. I was 20 when I was pregnant with my son, and I think at that age, social media was just feeling like a void. It was sharing those moments where it's just like, I had something nice, and for that moment I felt happy, and it was like, let me share this, and then let me share this food, let me share this drink, or let me share my son's new shoes that I got for him, or like, Yeah. But if I was to go back to all those pictures from when I started my Instagram, I would probably be able to tell you the story behind that, and the fight behind that, and the like all those pictures will have a story in it, and it just feels like at that time it wasn't so real, or like what it means now. But eventually, with time, I mean, and then again, I was very young, but with time, it went from doing it as something to fill a void, as something that was helping me and helping me stay like true to who I was. Because Isabel was always that type of person in high school, where I was always very like talk to everybody and very loud and always laughing, and and that's what I was able to still keep on my social media once I started growing older and being more mature, I guess. And then with time, my following started growing, and then girls started following me from like different states and stuff, and I was like, oh my goodness, So yeah, I think that I probably would have been a lot further and bigger, and maybe been able to do more, especially at the time when I was like super, super into it and committed to it. But at the same time, I also had somebody whispering in my ear how everything was fake, and everything that I was doing was just for views, or just for, and it was hard to just be like, no, like this is where I'm the most me. Mm-hmm. Like this is, and so there's somebody whispering that, and then there's like me trying to stay sane and just be like, no, like this is mine. Like I love doing this. I enjoy doing this. When I'm sad, I could go on here, and yes, it's as easy as I could text my best friend, but I could also go on here, and I have so many women like just
relate to you.
Yeah.
And just
relate. And the relating to me is what also got my page to grow, because women started relating when I started being more honest, and when I started being like, even when I was still in my relationship that I was in with the father of my kids, like women started relating to the easy things that I would post, where it was like, he would leave the dirty laundry, and it's like the bin's right there, like the bin is right there, and it's empty, like it fits. Yeah. It fits. He can't put it there, so things like that started being relatable. And the more that I saw the support, the more I think I felt safe and comfortable to start sharing more. Yeah. And I think, it was from 2019 COVID when I started working from home, that I just started putting so much more energy and time into it, and just even for fun. Yeah. I would do lives like drinking, taking shots, and just dancing, and then just saying cheese man. Then women would send me their stories of like, and I would anonymously like share them and say like, so and so is like hooking up with so and so, or like, I don't know.
You know what was my favorite part? When you were like, I'm gonna block baby daddy.
Oh my gosh, they would be like code red when he would join my lives, because I still had him on my social media. I didn't post him, but I had him. He would see my stuff, and it would be so funny, because I'd be on live and I'd be saying like a story, and then they would be like code red, because they would see that he joined, and I'm like changing the subject now. On to more, because he hated it. He hated that now thinking back, I think he hated that I really found something that brought me joy,
Yeah.
and that was mine. And when I would make him part of it, it's like we could be so fun together, so funny, and make videos. There was a video we did one time where we were guessing what was in the box, and we were blindfolded,
Yeah.
and it was so fun. But so I'm like, I feel like if our relationship and our love would have been more real, it would have been able to continue. But when it just started feeling like, you know, not necessarily that video of like the what's in the box, but other ones that we would share and do, and then afterwards he would say, "You're only getting views because of me. They only follow you because of me. They only care to see your stuff because of me." And so then that's when I was like, well, then I stopped posting, because it's like, you know, then it's not because of me. I didn't believe it, but it would still hurt, you know, to, and especially because it's like for all these years I was already like in a relationship where I was always trying to make him see my worth and see my, you know, like I'm a good person and I'm worth something, and look, I have these qualities and I have that, you know. And then for it to be like, there's this one thing that I really enjoy doing, it brings me joy. I have so many women messaging me like their stories of how they could relate, and sometimes they would be like, I can't even share this with my best friend, or I can't share this with my family. I can't, you know, and that means so much to me. So, and then for somebody to tell me, you're only because of me, like, wait, no, like you don't drive to work daily and cheer people up with your mood and with the music you're playing, and you know, like I would think like, no, like that's not true, you know. But being where my self-esteem was, it sí me la creía a veces, you know. So then what did I eventually start doing was just like, well, I can't post him, and then I stopped posting, because sometimes you would post a picture of like, you know, like you share pictures of your family or your relationship, and then it's like right after that picture we got in a fight though, you know. So I'm like, I stopped doing it.
And I remember you used to put like reggaeton, like a lot of this, like Danny Flow, because of you. Like, and I was like, oh yeah, because I love reggaeton, you know. But I like the older ones, but you're like you're showing us the new ones. So I was like, oh, that's pretty good. But like, what for you, like your healing journey, like what have you learned so far? Like you could tell Isabel, I don't know, 5 years ago to who you are now.
Oh man. I think that the best thing that I've realized now is that every time that I kept saying, I'm not gonna tolerate it anymore if you scream at me, I'm not gonna tolerate it anymore if on my birthday you don't make me feel special, Christmas, Mother's Day, any of that. I think now looking back, it's like those weren't. Now I learned boundaries.
Yeah.
Like that's such a big word for me now, boundaries. And I was listening to a podcast too, how it's like you set boundaries now that you know what they are. And at that time you think you're setting the boundaries, but really what I was doing was like me, every time that I would say like, I'm not gonna tolerate it anymore if you scream at me, it was a cry for like, please don't scream at me anymore because it hurts. It wasn't me really saying, I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. Because I wasn't going to leave. That wasn't an option in my head, because I loved somebody. I loved him. And now I realize, oh man, like that was how much I loved somebody, that for so many years it was a cry for help. Like a cry for like, please, like, you know? And now that I'm a better place, I see all of those things, and the best thing I could do now and that I love to do is just like love myself and be like, it's okay. Like, you know, because at first I would shame myself, and I would be so mean to myself. Like, you know, it's so easy to just, you know, when you mess up or you do something like dumb, or you feel dumb for having done something, and you're just like, oh, like pendeja, you know, like, and to me now I see it as like, if I need that, I have my best friends and I know which one I could go to for a reality check or for that, you know. But me, to myself, I'm the nicest that I could be to myself because I love myself now.
Yay.
Like, I love myself.
That's how you should be. You
That's
should
how
love yourself. But
yeah.
I feel like we all go through this journey where we're like in a dark space and then you finally feel like, wait a minute, if I'm giving them everything, what am I giving myself?
Yeah.
And then you have to be like, I gotta love myself first, because
Right.
at the end of the day, like, you came in here by yourself. You
Yeah.
were birthed by yourself. You're gonna die by yourself, you
Yeah.
know? So you should come first, because how are you supposed to take care of everyone if you can't even be good to yourself?
Yeah.
You
But
know?
it's you really do like forget when I was still in my relationship, I remember I started getting into books, and well, I wanted to get into books. Now I'm into books. At
Yeah.
that time, I wanted to. So I remember buying this book. I can't remember which one it was. I probably don't even have it anymore, or it's probably
Right.
at his house because I left a lot of stuff still. But it was this book that I read, and it was saying how when you're in a relationship, you forget who you are as a person outside of that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I was 18 when I met him. I was just out of high school. My mom had been diagnosed with breast cancer, so I kind of was like distant from my friends for a while and everybody, because I had just graduated high school. You have all these hopes for like, you're gonna go to college, you're gonna this, you're gonna that. I was one of the few from my friends that had a car.
Yeah.
And I was excited. I was ready to explore. And you know, Isabel was the one that like would pick up the guys, because I used to hang out with a lot of like the skaters, and they had a band. So Isabel would pick them up to take them to the show that they were gonna be for. You know, that was me. But then my mom got sick, and all of that had to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then right when I was getting back into that, which was enjoying my like,
Yeah.
you know, early 20s, like early, you know, it was right out of high school. That's when I met him. And so then when I was older, I don't know, I was probably like 26, 27, I read this book, and it said how you forget who you were before that person once you're in a relationship. And that's one of the worst things that you could do, because then that's when you become so codependent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I was. But then I met him at 18. I got with him at 20, and we had my son at 21 when I was 21. And so then really it was like, well, who am I? I knew, like I said earlier, like Isabel's been the one that's always very like loud and talkative and,
Yeah.
you know, talks to everyone, but that's it.
Yeah.
Those were the three things that I could tell you to describe Isabel. Isabel's loud. Isabel talks to everyone. And Isabel is always like very upbeat, happy, you know? That's it.
Right.
So when I was 26, 27, and it's like I'm in this relationship where I am very codependent on this man, and I can't even go to the grocery store without him. I'd be like, let's go together as a family. Go to my family's house for breakfast on Sunday. I can't go without him. I need him to come with me. Like,
Yeah.
let's all go, because we're a family, like, you know? And to some extent, yes, it's good
Yeah.
that we're together as family, and that I was prioritizing that stuff, you know? But there was absolutely no, who am I outside of this? Because the only things I knew was
Yep.
those three things. And in relationships, you forget who you are outside of that, or you don't know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So now I especially this past year, 2025, I feel like it was a year of like really getting to know myself,
Yeah.
and just being like, oh, this is what I like to do. This is what I like to do for fun. This is what I like to do to distract myself. This is what I like to do when I'm feeling sad. This is what I enjoy doing with my kids.
Yeah.
This is what I enjoy doing with my friends. And then I also, this is what I want to put more energy into with my family, like, you know, and I love it.
I remember you took a trip to Joshua Tree
Yeah.
and you just fucking bounced.
Yeah, I mean, I went actually like 2 weeks ago again.
Oh, did you?
But the first one that I went to, well, this was already towards the end of my relationship. I went to Death Valley first.
Yeah.
Death Valley was the very first trip that I went to by myself, that I really just picked up and said, fuck it. But actually, I'm lying. I'm lying. I did not just pick up and say, fuck it, I'm going. I tried to go 3 times and I turned around and came back because I was like, I can't do it. What am I doing? What am I going for? I don't have him. And I was always the driver. I was always the driver.
Yeah.
He'd be the passenger all the time. And I remember trying to go because I wanted to. Because, again, when I was young, I was one of the first to have a car for my friends, for my group of friends. And I was so excited and eager to do road trips and to drive further, like even just from the valley to downtown LA. That was like a trip for me, you know, and I was like wanting to do that. I wanted to go see Grand Central Market and, you know, things that were in downtown LA, which was only 30 minutes from me, less with no traffic, you know. Now I go on any given morning that I feel like it, you know. But at that time, I was so excited to do all of that, and then I didn't do it. And so when I decided that I wanted to go to Death Valley, that I think came from a place of like, you know, me wanting to do the things that I never got to do when I was younger. And unfortunately, the person that I was with didn't like any of that. Yeah. Didn't like road trips, didn't like any long drives, didn't like doing any of that. So I remember I would try to convince and beg and please and blah, blah, and I'll drive the whole way. Like, I'll, you know, no. So when Death Valley came to mind, I remember I Googled it and it said it was only, what was it, 4 hours away? I believe it was 4 hours away. And I was like, okay, that's not bad. I could do it in a day. I could go and come back. And I tried 3 times. I got in the car. I had everything ready. I you know, and I started driving. And then I was like, I'm stupid. I used to talk to myself like that. I'm fucking stupid. What the fuck am I going for? What am I trying to prove? And that's when I would tell myself in my head, I would say, oh, I would hear him. You're just doing this shit for the likes. You're just doing this shit for to show off. You're just doing, you know? Yeah. So I would turn around and come back home. And it wasn't until the final attempt that I tried again one morning. It was a holiday weekend. I don't remember which one, but I told my kids, I was like, Mom's going to go tomorrow. I'm going to be gone all day, but I'm going to, you know, I'll come back, like this and that. And okay, Mom. And I went by myself. I got in the car and I remember being an hour away and crying my heart out because I was like, I need him here. Like, why am I going? What am I going to get out of this? Yeah. I needed him here because what if I got a flat tire? What if the car heated up, what if something happened and he's not here? Right. What am I going to do? So I was crying the whole time because, you know, but I was like, you have to go. Like, you can't turn around. And I was like, okay, I was an hour and a half. And I was like, you already drove for an hour and a half. You can't. 2 hours, you can't go back. 3 hours, Isabel, you're almost there. After the 3rd hour, I started seeing the sunrise and the highway, like the road, it was beautiful. And I was like, oh my gosh. It was a really, really nice road to Death Valley. And once I got there, I remember I texted him. I said, I just got here. I still had signal. I said, I just got here. I might lose signal once I go more into the park. But I should be home by so-and-so time or something, you know? Yeah. And he just was like, okay. And I went in and the Isabel that was driving there questioning, like, what the hell am I going to get out of this? Yeah. What the hell am I even going for? What, you know, what is the purpose of this? Right. Now, Death Valley is like one of the most special places to me. And I'd probably go anytime. Like, you know, I'm planning on going again. Like,
do you think that was like your breaking point of like, wow, I can do this by myself. I don't need anybody.
Maybe after 2 or 3 trips like that. Yeah. Yeah. Because I ended up loving the feeling that I got out of it. Loving how inspired I felt once I came back home. I love the feeling of like, I'll tell you what it was. That was that trip. And I saw so many views and nobody was telling me hurry up. I was able to pull over as many times as I wanted, see as many different like viewpoints that I wanted, stay as long as I wanted in which one I wanted. And with my tripod and my phone, I got as many pictures and videos as I wanted. And I was like, oh man, I wanted a picture on that road, like right there, like in the middle of the road. Like, let me go back. Like, absolutely nobody was telling me exactly. No. So I love that feeling. The next trip that I did was with a friend Arlene, I wanted to go. I was gonna go alone because again, what was I trying to prove to myself? I was trying to prove to myself that I could do this. Like, Isabel, you could do this. Scared as fuck, but I could do this, right? Like, I have to do this. Not I could. I have to. So there was this other place that I saw on TikTok, Instagram or something. It was Three Rivers, passing Lone Pine. No, it's not Three. Well, I went to the third river, but it's a view. It's like a hike.
Yeah.
Also, and Isabel, with the hikes that I was doing at that time were like 45-minute hikes. With my kids, we had the easy hike and the hard hike. The hard one was Runyon Canyon. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah,
over there, like in Studio City,
yeah.
Runyon Canyon. That was hard for us, which is not that hard. And there was this place that I saw, and it looked beautiful. It was like it had 7 lakes, I believe, and the third one was the really popular one that everyone hikes to.
Right.
So I was like, I want to see this. Like, I want to go. And of course, him, no. Like, for what? Like, no. So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. I have to do this. So I did, and I mentioned it to that friend, and I think she ended up, like, being like, hey, I'm tagging along, like, the day before or 2 days before. And I was like, okay, like, all right, So that gave me the, like, ahora sí a huevo lo tengo que hacer, because now she's coming too, And same thing, we left in the morning. It was about a 4-hour drive, 4.5 hours. We drove up to Lone Pine and heading, like, it's before Mammoth Lakes. Yeah. Passing Lone Pine before Mammoth Lakes. We went and we got to the trailhead, and I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's go. My goodness. It was the hardest fucking hike ever. But now I see it as, like, I hope I never lose that, like, spontaneous, like, side of me, and because that is me, Yeah. I hope I don't lose that. Like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that my friend went with me, because she definitely pushed me to finish. I think I would have still, I've always questioned, like, would I have done it if I went alone, like, the whole hike, got into that river, like, that lake the goal was.
Right.
Like, it would have probably took me way more, because, I was taking breaks, but because I was with her, it was kind of like, okay, like, let's speed it up,
Yeah.
Like, all right, 2-minute break. I would have probably took a 20-minute break, like, it would have took me longer.
Yeah.
But, I went, and I remember we got out of the car, and she took this backpack with, like, probably just water and, like, granola bars and beef jerky or something. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I had a backpack with water bottles, Red Bull, a separate dress, because I was like, when I get there to the view, I want to change into this dress so I could take pictures. Fucking Isabel didn't know what the hell she was thinking. But as we started going, when the hike started, the trailhead, it was switchbacks, which is the ones where you're going like this, zigzag. So I'm going up, and it's uphill.
Oh no.
Oh my God. By the third one, I was like, what the fuck am I? Oh my goodness. Am I really going to do this?
Yeah.
But that's like you said, like, if these trips were the ones that changed me, Death Valley did it for me.
Right.
Where it was like, holy crap. Like, it was the first time I pushed myself with my tears, with my fear, with my heartbreak, because it's like I wanted the person that I love the most to be there with me. And then getting there and seeing those beautiful views, being like, I wish I could share this with you, with him.
Mm-hmm.
Now I realize, we'll get to that. But so we get to this hike, struggling. I'm crying at one point. The backpack that I had was so, so, so heavy. Mm-hmm. It was hurting, and my back was killing me. My feet weren't killing me yet, but I believe it was 14 miles, 11 miles or 14 miles round. But it was, there was points where we were in the middle of, like, no, it was beautiful. Middle of nowhere. And I remember at one point I was so upset, like, so frustrated. I was mad, because I was like, this is so hard. Like, this is fucking hard. And the weight of my backpack, I couldn't handle it. But I started thinking of it as, like, pick your heart, Isabel. It's time you start picking a different heart, because the life that back at home is fucking hard. Mm-hmm. The heartbreak, the daily arguments, the disrespect, the this, those were the reasons why I was pushing myself to do these things, even with the fear that I had of like, what if I got a flat tire? What if this? What if that? And he's not here. He's not there. Like to help me figure it out and fix it. So as I started going and being angry, I remember saying the backpack, I just wanted to leave it. But I was like, no, like I'm going to do this because this is I started imagining or like comparándolo with like the weight of the pain that I felt. And I was like, and I need to bring it up there with me and I'm going to leave it there. Like, so that's how I got through with the backpack. And as I kept going and going, then that's when my feet started hurting. And I was like, oh my God, I want this to end. Like, where is it? We finally made it to the lake that I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
And I started crying. And I remember then being very angry and saying the words, I said to my friend, I said, I could go to all the road trips. I could climb all the fucking mountains, go through all these hikes.
Yeah.
I could do all of this shit. Fuck it. But I can't leave him. I was like, so what is it? What am I even doing this for? Mm-hmm. For what? Like, what am I getting out of it? And as I'm crying there, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing this for if I can't leave him?
Yeah. I
could climb this fucking mountain that took every fucking thing in me, but I'm not going to leave him. I can't.
Yeah.
And, so then, I let it out. I stayed there I enjoyed it. We had some snacks. And then we're like, all right, let's get going because it's going to get nighttime, So we come back and we finished the hike and I felt so accomplished. And I was like, oh my God, but I did it. There was every single mile that I wanted to quit. I didn't. And I got to the top and then we came back and then I drove home and I was so excited to tell my kids and to tell him and share all about it, right? So this is where it changed because I got home. And my kids came to me and they're like, Mom, they hugged me. They're, how did it go? This is that. He was laying in bed and in our bedroom. And when I went in there, the kids followed me in there, right? Like the kids followed me in there and how was it and this and that. And I'm sharing with them and he was just on his phone swiping and watching videos and no hi, no how did it go? No, what did you do? No, let me see a picture. No, nothing.
Yeah.
My kids, and then I remember showering. Oh, my kids, they had gone to my mom's that day with him and she had sent me a bowl of pozole. So my kids like served it to me. Like, they took care of me. Like, they're like, here, Mom, like, this and that. And then I got in the shower, came back to bed. The kids went to bed and he went to sleep. And I remember thinking that's when I was like, I need to get out of here. Like, that's it.
That was like your breaking point.
Yeah, that was where the switch, like,
yeah,
happened because I realized that I was happier when I was out there now and I was starting to lose the fear and coming home was sadness that I didn't want anymore. And,
yeah,
but that trip was it because he didn't ask a single question of how my trip went. Oh, how did it go? Nothing. And I was so proud of what I had accomplished. Like me with no experience, like not knowing what the hell I was getting myself into. I went and hiked all these miles. I mean, you could think 11 miles, like, oh,
no,
it's not.
That's
no,
a lot.
It was hard. And yeah, he didn't ask a single question. And I was like, okay, that's it. So then after that, I think that subconsciously, like I came up with a plan, which was after that, I took time off work. Mm-hmm. I quit my job. I purposely got fired from my job that I had at the time. It was a very good job. My manager loved me. I had a lot of opportunity for growth there. And if I would have kept going and I remember saying like, well, something's gotta give.
Yeah.
I was having problems at home that were affecting my work now because I was going through a lot and work at one point work was my joy also. Like I would be happy at work. Like I would dress up and because I didn't work for a long time. I was a stay-at-home mom for a while. So I remember when I finally went back to the work, like working and stuff, I remember going to buy foundation for the first time in years.
Wow.
In years because I wouldn't do my makeup. I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't do my hair. I didn't do my makeup. I didn't buy clothes for myself. I didn't buy shoes for myself. I didn't, I remember one year that it was my son's birthday party. We would do a birthday every year. And one of my friends at that time was like, what are you going to wear? And I was like, oh, like anything from my closet, And she was just like, Isabel, like, you're the mom. Like, you have to like this and that. And I'm just like, first of all, I didn't prioritize myself, think of myself like that. Like, I needed something. And then second, even if I wanted to, like, financially, I'm like, we probably couldn't even afford it too, Like, so I would just prioritize what was needed.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't a priority. Like, I didn't have clothes, shoes, or makeup, maybe eyeliner or something small.
Yeah.
And I remember when I went back to work, I bought my first foundation thing and being like, from today on, I am going to do my makeup every day because I already went, I don't remember how many years, but I went enough years not doing that. So when I started working again, doing my makeup was like a priority because I was like, I haven't done it for so long. Like, I can't put make excuses for it. And so anyway, going back to like after that trip, I remember my job at that time, I was like, something's got to give and I can't leave him. I'm not ready.
Right.
And I was like, and this is also causing me stress and I'm not happy anymore. So I quit. I purposely got fired because I was like, supposedly they had said, if you quit, you're not going to get like any unemployment, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I need that too because of how am I going to pay my car?
Yeah.
I was like, how am I going to pay my car payment? So that ended up, I remember my manager telling me like, Isabel, like, I know, like when I was like messing up and, call outs and things like that, she was like, what's like, this isn't you. Like, this isn't like you. And then they even put me on a performance improvement plan, which is like you're on probation. And they always say like, people don't pass those. Once you're on one of those, that's it. You're going to get fired because any little thing, that's it. You violated and you're done. You're fired.
Right.
They put me on one of those for, I think, 3 months. And I still passed it. And I still, but that was my manager doing that for me. That wasn't because, I was doing great. Because I was super checked out of my job. Like, I was, So when I did lose that job, I took that time off to do so many things that I wanted while knowing that I was still coming home. And even though I wasn't happy, I still had him. Like, he was still there with me. Like, even if it was me hugging him, with him giving me his back, but, like, I felt that, like, I don't want to say connection, but I felt him there. He was there. So I started, like, going hiking. I started working out. I started doing things. And so those things started making me find out who I was, what I liked doing, who I was as a person, right? So Isabel was discovering who she was as a person and starting to enjoy things on her own, like doing things, and finally being like, okay, well, the kids are at school, he's at work, I'm going to go hiking, I'm going to go grab coffee with a friend, I'm going to go, today I want to cook this, something different from TikTok, I saw it, and I, so I would do that. Like, I started doing things that I liked. Yeah. But still for him, and he was still coming home. Like, he was still there because I wasn't ready to leave.
Right.
So, but then eventually I started feeling like I was happier with everything outside and with everything I was doing. And now this was the last part and I was so unhappy. And then it was like, all right, I'm ready. And I think I was maybe off work for like 6 to 8 months. And I enjoyed the fuck out of those 6 to 8 months. And those 6 to 8 months is what helped me barely touch the surface of discovering who I was as a person. And still, every single show that I would go to, every like concert thingy that I would go to, there would be times that I would call him crying. And I would be like, I wish you were here. Like, I wish you would see this. Like, it's so fun. Like,
And what would he say when you did that? Nothing?
Nothing. I remember being at concerts, being at this show for this rock band that I liked. And there was a couple right in front of me. And they were hugging and everything. And then I was just like, I haven't had that. I can't have that with him. As long as I'm with him, I'm not going to have that.
Yeah.
And then I remember, to make myself feel better, I'm like, who knows? They're probably going to go home and fight right now. Like, they're probably going to this and that. But then it was like, yeah, but then again, he was probably willing to come with her. Or they probably shared. Like, that's the thing. that I didn't know when I was 19, 20 when I met him. How important it is for the person that you choose to like the things you do.
Of
And maybe
course.
not like them, but be willing
Yes.
to try them with you. I may not like this, but let's try it. Let's go. I want to see. And then seeing me thinking like, and it was like that with him, because me seeing him happy and enjoying doing something that I probably didn't,
Yeah.
that made me happy.
Right.
Like now I see that in the future, me being with somebody that even if there's something that I don't like that he does, I'm gonna sit there and admire and be so happy to be like, I don't care that it's something that I don't like that you do
Yeah.
or that you enjoy, but just being here and sharing it.
Yeah.
Like,
So how are you doing now? Like
oh, I'm so happy.
now, like your present life, like you getting your own little place and just you're on a healing journey.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us stop healing.
I was gonna say I don't think it
no,
ever ends or
it
stops.
doesn't. But I feel like you're so much in a better spot now. So how are you doing?
I mean, now it's been like 2.5, going on 3 years, and it's been such a learning process. But I'm very genuinely happy, and I think that this year
Yay.
I'm the happiest. Like I'm looking forward to this year because I'm the happiest now that I've been
Yeah.
in a very long time. I wouldn't say ever because I was a happy person, and I mean I go back to high school probably. After that, it's like my life changed, but
Yeah.
that happy Isabel from high school, like I've changed a lot. So I would
Yeah.
definitely say like if you knew me then, you don't know me fully now because I have changed.
Yeah.
But
like your
the
sparks
loud,
back,
the
kind of.
Isabel, the funny one, the one that talks to everyone, that's still me,
Yeah.
you know? And now I feel like I have that again, and it's genuine, and I don't carry a heavy heart every day. And now I feel like I have a lot more of the tools to be able to like pull myself out of like a rut, pull myself out of like I'm having a bad day, because those still come. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how long it's been. You know, sometimes the nostalgia, like, you know, it hits,
Yeah.
and the memories and stuff, and I'm just like, damn, you know. And then again, now it's like I have the tools, I have the knowledge, I have the awareness of like, how do I get out of that? How do I, you know, or do I allow myself to rot for a day because that's how I want, that's what my body wants, that's what my heart wants, that's what I want, and I do so.
Yeah.
But then the next day where I push myself, or I'm ready, like I don't even have to push myself. The
Yeah.
next day I go wake up and I get dressed and I go have a coffee with my friends, or, you know, tomorrow I'm looking forward to, I'm gonna go grab a coffee with a friend and we're gonna go to the Swami, like, you know. And I do it with so much more like happiness, or I do it with so much more like
you're grateful.
yeah, I'm grateful. I was about to say
Yeah.
grateful. That's a very big word for me, like to be grateful because of how aware I am of like, okay, if Wednesday I had such a crappy day, Thursday this week was a bad one, and that was my intention. That was like on Sunday, I'm like, I want to go have coffee and the Swami with my friend, and I'm so grateful for it.
Yeah.
I'm not just like, oh, it's just coffee. It's just that I see it as no, because to me it's like I had such a hard week,
Yeah.
and that's my like
Reward.
yeah. And it's gonna be okay, and that's how I see it now with everything. Like with everything, it's like there's always it's gonna be okay. Like
Yes.
it always is.
Yes.
And before it was like no, but like this, but that, but this, but that. There was a lot of buts, and I think also too what helped so much is when I realized and I started seeing it from a different perspective of like I wasn't a victim anymore, because that victim mentality definitely pulls you back, holds you back, and there's no I won't say there's no growth from it. There will be, but as long as you get out of that and start and you take accountability, because I also see it now as like it takes two to not make it work, and it takes two to make it work.
Right.
And I played a lot in that role of why my relationship didn't work.
Yeah.
And there would be times where I would call after we separated, that I would, you know, where I would be driving and I'll be like, and this is why also that happened. Because I didn't this, I didn't that, you know. And I would call and I would say, I remember this specific one where I remember realizing that I had lost all respect for him. you know. So I was also speaking to him really fucked up, and I remember laughing at, like, sometimes he would say something like a honest, like, opinion of, like, how we could fix something, you know,
Right.
y yo lo tomaba por pendejo.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so fucked up, because it's like I was doing what he was doing to me, that I kept saying, like, don't do this to me, please don't, this and that. But I was doing it. And it was very a mentality of, like, well, I'm going to match his energy, or where I'm going to, well, I remember being like, well, he did it to me for how many years? He could handle this shit, you know? And I remember calling and being like, I'm sorry for losing the respect, and not sticking to, like, who I wanted to be, which is, like, the person that I am now. Like, I won't change or treat you different or be different because that's how you are. Mm-hmm. It's like the other day I heard how it says, like, you know, it's wait, but I was going to say about the victim mentality, that if somebody who's in that or goes through that, whether it's after a breakup or any other situation, I think that it is necessary in your healing journey, because it's when you allow yourself to, like, feel sorry for yourself, to baby yourself, and to really forgive yourself for it. Because I'm like, I was a victim. Like, I was a victim, and you were. I was. So I to me, I know that there's a lot of people, like, I see it, you know, where the people could be against that victim mentality because they're like, they see it as, like, a weakness. But to me, I think that my advice is that allow yourself to go through that stage, but don't stay in it.
Yeah.
Then the accountability comes right after that.
Right.
And after the accountability comes, the growth comes with it. Like, hand in hand, the accountability and the growth. And that's when everything else just starts lining up. And things just start connecting, and the different perspectives start, like, coming to you, and you start aligning things of, like, what you could have done different. And, you know, and now it's like, yes, I was a victim, but I also, you know, did this, I also did that. I also played this part.
Yeah.
And yes, I did, for a while I felt like, oh, I wasted all these years, this and that. Yeah, but you also, like, you know, just you start thinking different, and then that allows you to heal, because being the victim all the time, it's like you're never going to let it go, really. Mm-hmm. You could be mad, because it also comes from a place of anger. Yeah. You know? But now I feel very happy. And I feel like everything that happens now to me, I'm so, like, I have to get something out of this. I have to grow from this. I have to learn from this. I have to, you know? And sometimes things just happen just because.
You want to share what you did the other day? With the blindfold?
Oh, yeah. So a friend of mine invited me to this thing. I'm gonna read it, actually. I'll because I'm like, I was gonna talk about it on my Instagram, but because of the week that I had, it just kind of, like, threw me off, and I didn't end up talking about it. But it was called, here it is, Embodied Stories, a gentle somatic workshop exploring movement, sensation, and meaning. That's what it was. That's the poster, like, the flyer for it, right? Mm-hmm. So she sent it to me, and I was like, I'm gonna try it, you know. And this friend of mine that invited me, she's like she's actually the one that I went to that hike with at the lakes that I'm telling you that we got to the lake, and she was, like, also, like, who encouraged me and was like, come on, Isabel, like, you know, this and that. And we made it up there, and, you know, so my friend Arlene, so she's the one who sent it. She's very calm. She's like the opposite of me. I met her through work. When I went back to work, when I'm telling you that I was, like, bought the foundation, that I was like, I'm going back to work, and I'm like, I want to take care of myself more, like, do things, like, now I have money to buy myself clothes, and, you know, and because it was going to be 2 incomes at that time. And that's when I met that friend. I actually met her the day of the interview. Yeah. We both got the job because they were hiring multiple people. And then from there, she went to a different job. I went to a different one. And then we ended up at the same job again. And then, so yeah, now we still keep in touch. So she sends me that. And she's like she was the calm one, the quiet one at work. And there's Isabel, the loud one, and the, you know. Yeah. And So when she invited me the other day, because I started the year saying that, like, yeah, like, I'm gonna calm down because I partied a lot. I partied a lot after the breakup, then I partied a lot after the breakup. Then my best friend breaks up too, and
Oh, God.
and then it was like I was already like kind of done with the
Yeah.
partying, and then my best friend goes through a breakup, so she's like, I gotta go party with her because she's going through that stage now. So I'm like, all right, I'm a little behind here. So this year I'm like, I'm gonna be
Chill.
more intentional
Yeah.
with my time and with my outings and with my, doesn't mean I'll still take a few shots of tequila here and there because I love it, but more intentional. That's the word of the year. Intentional with our time, with everything. And this friend messages me that, and all this would have been like,
Yeah.
somatic movement. What? Like, what? I remember when I got the thing, I was at work, I think, or something. And yeah, I was at work, and I was like, guys, what's somatic?
What
like,
they say.
No, I don't even. They were just like, I don't know, and I don't even think I got a chance to Google it.
Yeah.
But because at work they're always like, Google it, because I always Google everything. Like they'll say something, and I'm just like, let me Google this,
Right.
But yeah, so I go, not knowing what to expect, what it's gonna be about. I'm like, all right, let's go, and so at the beginning, like, so they explained what it was, and she was
Right.
saying that a lot of it is like things that they've learned from that they go to Oaxaca and learn about these rituals
really?
and dancing and movement and the body and meditation and just all these things. And they were like, and we're bringing that here because we want to keep it here. It's part of our culture. It's part
Yeah.
of like, and like you were mentioning earlier, how it's like sometimes our family just kind of forgets that it's like, well, that's the most natural, way of healing or, and it's like, you guys probably used to do it back then,
Right.
My dad in his pueblo, like, I'm pretty sure, Dad.
Yeah.
So they were talking about how that's where it comes from, and movement and music. So they started off with like slow music, right? And they said it's optional if you wanted blindfold or just be or not, but I chose the blindfold because I was kind of like, I don't know, if I start noticing somebody's looking at me, like, maybe I'll get shy, or I didn't want to hold back. I was kind of like, okay, like, let me just put this on. Mind you, I have my head spinning in my mind because that was Wednesday, the day that something had gone on with my son. So it was a very, it was a lot to handle that day.
Yeah.
And then to go there, I remember my friend calling and was like, if you want to cancel and this and that. But I was like, no. I was like, we paid because we paid for it. And I was like, and two, this is where we show up for ourselves and put ourselves
Right.
first, because it's like, if I want to be able to show up for Charlie tomorrow and be there, like, I need to like do this. And for that hour and a half that I left, I was able to like come back to myself, calm, get home, and be like, I got this situation,
Yes.
a situation that 2 hours prior, it was driving me crazy of like, how am I gonna, and so I go, and they start off with slow music, and I put the blindfold on, and yes, my brain, it's like if it was running. And when they started telling us, like guiding us, telling us what to do and stuff, and like just talking about stuff, I started calming down and just getting out of my head, right? So maybe halfway through it, they tell us to envision ourselves as an animal. There was a reason, a purpose for it, but I can't remember like what. But she said, envision yourself as an animal. And initially, the first thing in my head was a snake. And I'm telling you, in the vision, I have like the snake coming towards me, like como para meterse en me, to envision.
Right.
What the snake is seeing.
Yeah.
And I kind of like, I was like coming, and then it stopped. Like I was like, no, like I kind of went like this, like I don't want a snake.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, no, like I don't want that, because you think of snake, but actually snakes are not bad, but you think, I don't know. So anyway, then I went like this, and I was like, no, like I went like that. And the very next thing was a dolphin, and it was in the ocean. And to me, it just meant so much more, because my son, who was in my mind heavy that day, he loves the ocean. He can name you all the animals in the ocean, and probably, the animals that I don't even know they exist. Like Charlie will tell you what it is. And then there's land and amphibians, and I don't know what the hell, like Charlie would tell you all of that.
Yeah.
And for the ocean ones, it was like I was looking through the eyes of a dolphin.
Right.
And I was in the ocean, which I don't like the ocean, but my son loves the ocean. And yeah, and I just saw like the most beautiful, like underwater, like, I don't know, fish and corals, and I don't know, like fucking Finding Nemo and shit. Like I was there, and it was so weird, because it felt so real.
Right.
Because it felt like I was really looking at it through the eyes of
Yes.
an animal that lives in the fucking ocean, a dolphin. So then when after that, the after that, like the music that they were playing and leading us through was more upbeat, and I just like I told my friend, I was like, at that point I took the blindfold off because I didn't want to fall and stuff, like with the things we were doing.
Right.
I'm like, but I stayed calm and I wasn't like jumping around and this and that. I was like, because the upbeat music I love, and I was like, and I didn't feel bad like to not be going along with that anymore.
Right.
I was like, because that is Isabel every day.
Yeah.
The upbeat music, the dancing around, the this and that, like that's me every day. So, but for that moment, I needed the calm. Even if it was the upbeat stuff, like I needed the calm.
Yeah.
And when it ended, we went around and everyone was like, if you feel called on to share something about the experience. And I shared that about the dolphin situation. And then I was like, I felt in such a state of like, I felt so light.
Yeah.
And I walked in there. I had every reason to cancel or to not show up.
Right.
I had every reason, and valid ones. And I was like, when I was driving home, I briefly went on my Instagram to talk about it. I was like, I had every excuse. And then I was actually, no, it wasn't even an excuse. It was valid reasons why I couldn't make it. But I said to myself, I was like, I paid. And two, I was like, this is how I show up for myself and prioritize me. And I showed up, and I told my friend, I was like, I don't regret it a bit. I was like, because maybe towards the end, I was like, it got a little, like, a little, I mean, I don't know, it was different for me, right? What they were doing, and like, they were making sounds, and I was just like, what? But I still got something out of it, and I enjoyed it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so why don't you like the ocean?
The ocean? Oh, I'm just scared. No, there's no control there. There's no, that's what it is. There's no control. There's no control.
Like,
and
I almost drowned when I was like, I don't know, 7.
Yeah.
So I love the ocean to like.
To see it, I'll take a picture from right here with the sand. Like, my toes are on the sand.
Me and the ocean, like, it's beautiful. But I share the same
My kids love the beach. I mean, the reason why now I try more and I go, maybe the last 2-3 years I've gone a lot more to the beach, and I'm more like open to it. It's because my son, Charlie's very timid and very like quiet and very like, shy. We say like Charlie's a gentle giant. He's super tall now. But he's very calmado and shy. Y también le da mucho miedo, like a lot of things. Like le da miedo, like fireworks. We haven't celebrated 4th of July since Charlie was probably like 2 or 3 years old. We just stay home. We would always stay home because he hates the loud fireworks. He doesn't like them. Yeah. And so now 4th of July is just like, we don't celebrate because of that. So es muy miedoso to a lot of things. Right. And when I realized that Charlie loves the ocean, like he is the most fearless. When we would go with his dad, they would take off. Y yo con un miedo, but at the same time feeling he's safe because he's with his dad, So that's why now I'm more open to it and going to it and stuff. Like I go to the beach and stuff, and it's harder to now though because it's just I will go with me and the kids. Yeah. And I'm not going in there. I'll go knee deep probably, and then it's just like, okay, that's it.
We don't know
let's
what's
go back in there. And Charlie's like, I want to swim, and I'm just like, no, let's go back over there, like swim here, But yeah, I'm scared. I think it's that because there's no control, absolutely any control. Like I see like videos of like people in like, cruises. I would never do a cruise. You're in the middle of the ocean. There's absolutely nowhere. You get me like.
Yeah, I get it.
And then my friends tell me, okay, but when you've gone to these hiking places, like you're in the middle of nowhere. I'm like.
It's not the same.
But I could hide behind a tree or something. And it's just like I could hide. Do you
believe in like mermaids?
Yeah, I think they're I mean, not like, that I'm like so like they're real. Like
what do you believe that's in the ocean?
Oh, I think for sure there's things. I was just watching the video the other day of how like, they say that there's this like mega freaking shark and shit, and I'm just like, no, like it has to be real. Like it has to be. There's things that we don't even know. There's not even names to those like animals or creatures or things in the ocean because they've never seen before. Yeah. I watch a lot of videos of that. Where they dive, like there was one that it said on the deep deep diving.
Yeah.
Over 30,000 feet, and they were seeing animals like sea creatures that there's not even names to them. So I do think that there is mermaids for sure. Yeah. I do think that there's Bigfoot when I go hiking. Hell yeah, there's fucking Bigfoot.
Let's talk about
there's
that.
fucking chupacabras out there. Like, fuck yeah, there has to be.
There has to be. There's no way we're by ourselves in this big world. And I believe in Sasquatch. A lot of people think that I'm bonkers. Yeah. But I do believe in it.
Wait, what is that though? Is there a name for it in Spanish? I don't know what that is.
I don't know either.
I'm like, wait, no, I don't know.
Well, I know that,
but why do they say, or what's the story behind it?
Behind what? Like,
you said you believe in
Sasquatch, like Bigfoot, like Yeti. So
Yeti. That's what I've never heard that.
So
name.
A Yeti is like the white ones, right? And then a Bigfoot is like the brown ones. Yeah. And then there's like the skunk ape. I listen to Sasquatch Chronicles.
Okay, so that's what I'm like. Okay, that's why you probably know more names. Because I'm like,
I've been obsessed with this podcast, Sasquatch Chronicles. I love it, and I fall asleep to it. Mm-hmm. And I went to Seattle, I guess 2018, and we landed. Okay, and then once we were in the airport, Sasquatch everything. And I was like, okay, you guys were talking smack on me? Look at this whole place, right? Yeah. So then we go to where we were going to stay at. And then I had seen these orbs in these trees. But I don't know what I was thinking. I thought they were just, I don't know. I wasn't thinking right. Right. Because that's not, like when you're out there, there's a bunch of trees. They're huge, huge trees. It's not the same here. It's like different. So I was like seeing these orbs. And at the time, I wasn't thinking about it. I just thought they were like fires. I don't know. I wasn't in the right. I was just like, enjoying
you just
the
didn't
views.
Put thought into it. Then it happens where later on you're just like, oh my God, that's what I was looking at. Yeah.
So then I was like, wait a minute. And I would hear him on the Sasquatch Chronicles about these orbs. And I'm like, wait, I've seen them. Yeah. I know exactly what they're talking about. So then I was just like, there's no way that we're by ourselves. Yeah. These creatures live in these forests, like, it's insane. It's like government, what is it? Like you can't be around certain properties because it's trespassing. They do exist. Like if it wasn't true, then why are all...
I'm like, aliens too, yes. Like,
how come there's all these reports if it's not true? They had mentioned a scream in Mount Baldy. That's not that far away.
It's not.
That they were saying that it might have been a Sasquatch, like recently.
That's crazy. No, yeah, I believe it for sure. And I mean, when I've gone to hikes and where now I'm in the middle of nowhere, like even at Sequoia, like there's times where you're just like, literally you look left, right, up, down. There's nothing but like it's nature. But I'm like, no, there's gotta be. I'm not the only one here for sure. And in the ocean and the water and the lakes, también, because. It's scary. I'm like, it's scary. I'm like,
well, I mean, I don't think we're the only people here.
Yeah, no.
There has to be
like
other
just
things.
I mean, last year, during the summer, one of my best friends, she was out late and we were out late together, and then she left, and she was like, dude, she smokes, and she's like, I was smoking in the car, but my friend's like a smoker, like it's not like where I wouldn't trust her. Like she's smoking and she's not all there anymore. Like no, like she's she knows what she's doing. And so she was smoking, she says, and she was in the house that she went to was up by the mountains, like over there in the valley, like the mountains. So she tells me that she's in the car. She's like, dude, I start seeing, and she was with somebody, and both of them were like, what the hell is that? On top of the house that they were like parked in front of, which is where one of them lived. They're like, there was she's like, Isabel, they were like fucking human sized like animals, like monkeys. She's like, it was like fucking monkeys, but like human. And she's like, they were on the fucking roof, and we were like, what the fuck? And she's like, and they ran. And so up there, it's literally like maybe 1 or 2 blocks, and then it's called it's a park, and it's mountains. Where
was this at?
Well, it's in the valley, but it's in like Silmar. It's like, I don't know, the city is Silmar, but yeah.
So she saw Sasquatches.
I don't know. She's like, I don't know what the fuck I saw, but she's like, they were like monkeys, but live, like human size. Yeah. She's like, they were on top of the fucking roof, and then she was like, I think she said it was 3 of them, and she's like, and then they ran like, and took off.
Yeah.
She's like, before I could even grab my phone or like, like they fucking took off.
Wow.
She was like, Isabel, it was not a fucking wolf. It was not a dog. It was not a fucking regular monkey. Like it was a big ass fucking, and she was like tripping out. So that she was telling us the next day, right? And people were like, she was high. She was, but I'm like, no, I know her. Like she was not like that.
You know your friends.
Yeah, I know her. I was like, she saw it. I believe her. And then the person she was with told me the next day too, like, dude, we saw it. Like it's not. And I believe it because he lives right by the mountains.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's easy for something to be like,
Yes.
But and then I remember that I told her, I was like, he needs to ask the neighbors, like if they heard any, like on their roof or something, but I don't think they ever did. But she's like, I wish I would have seen, like, I would have gotten like video of it,
Yeah.
I'm like, but I believe it. I'm like,
for sure.
I saw something.
I mean, it's just crazy because there's so many reports, and then just the fact that she told you and you trust her, like, why wouldn't you believe her?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, there's no, so when she told me, and I'm telling you, like, first, like, other girls were like, she was high, like, so I was like, no, no. But then our other close friends too, they were like, nah, we believe her. Like, I'm sure there was something. Like, I'm sure it was something. She was like, it looked like a fucking human monkey. Like, it was fucking weird. But it was like, she said it was 3 of them. And they ran, and I was like, it's so easy. I was like, I believe it because you were right by the fucking mountains.
Yeah.
They came from that. It was like I think it was like 2:33 in the morning.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come in at night. They're not usually, well, I mean, it's rare that they'll be during the day, but yeah, I'm obsessed with that.
That's so
a lot of people are like, they don't, I'm like, don't even talk to me.
I like hearing a lot. I mean, I'll be watching, not like the full podcast, like I don't go on their podcast, but on TikTok, there's like long videos, like long, lengthy ones, and I like watching a lot of the crime stuff, or there's this one guy that tells you all these facts about like history. I can't remember his name, but all his videos are like, his voice is so deep, like, and then all his videos are black and white. Like his face is always black and white.
Yeah.
And then the whatever he's showing, like if he's talking about a building or something that was built or like from the years ago, it's history. I love watching his too. Yeah. I can't remember his name right now.
What about the afterlife? Do you believe in that? Like, how do you feel about that? Have you had like a ghost experience? Or what do you...
I don't think I've had, I mean, you say that and I thought right away the first thought was when I was younger, when I was like, when I was a child, I would go with my parents. We would road trip to Mexico a lot.
What part?
To Al Distrito Federal.
Okay.
To the city, to Mexico City. That's where my mom's from. So we would drive there multiple times. We road trip to Mexico, and I think that's where I got my love of like driving and going and exploring and stuff, because I did it multiple times with my parents, just me, my mom, and my dad. And now I think back to that, and I'm just like, one, I think that's where I got my like love wanting to do that, and then I didn't get to for so many years, and now it's like I love doing it. Anytime, let's go, I'm down. But I used to do that a lot with them. So in one of those trips, it was just the 3 of us, and we were driving, and my dad was like me, that he wanted to keep going, and then the night, I mean, it was dangerous because the same things that could happen now that you hear, like people get kidnapped and robbed and stuff.
Right.
It's dangerous to be driving over there in the night, and especially not knowing where you're at, because you're just kind of following a map. And it's so, now I think of it, I was like, my dad really just followed a fucking map. There was no GPS.
Yeah.
I drew a road trip to Mexico City. That time that I'm telling you that I took about 6 to 8 months off work when I was still with my kid's dad. I road trip to Mexico with my kids and my dad. So one of those, we're driving, and it was nighttime. My dad didn't want to stop. And I remember, like, he had a pickup truck, and I would be in the back, like, laying down. Like, the whole thing was for myself. And I sat up and looking out, like, the window from the truck, I saw, like, to me, it looked like a ghost. Like, a little boy or a little girl in the middle of the road. And they were just, like, looking at us, like, leave. And I was like, that was a ghost, because it was the middle of the night.
Yeah.
What is a little kid going to be doing, there? Like, in the, in a random road, lonely road in the middle of the night. But that's probably the only time that I've felt.
And what did it like look like? Was it?
It was just standing. It was just, I'm like, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I see I see it vividly, like the image of it. It was a little kid. They were just standing in the road, in the middle of the road. And as we drove, like I was looking, and as we drove away, it was just like staring, but it didn't move. It did nothing. And to me, it was scary because it's like, is it trying to tell me something or like tell us
Right.
something? Or, my mom was already insisting to my dad because he was getting sleepy and stuff, like just pull over already, pull over.
Yeah.
And he finally did. We stayed at a hotel. We would just stay at random little hotels. And I think of it and I'm just like, oh my gosh, my dad was brave to be doing that. Like, because that's scary. When I went with my kids, I felt safe because I was with my parents, and my kids felt safe because they were with me.
Right.
But I was like, as an adult now, I'm like, there's danger. There's a lot of danger here. And
Yeah.
I did stop the first night. It took me 2 days, one night. And that one night I did stop and we stayed at a hotel because I was like, I don't want to drive at night with the kids, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, Dad, usted sí se iba? Like, fuck it. You know, he wasn't scared.
Our parents
but-
were raised differently, though.
Yeah.
They don't.
I know.
They're not scared of anything.
You know what? Another time. So, the one of the very few times that I got to convince my kids, well, the father of my kids, to come with us to come with me to a trip, I booked the trip. It was supposed to be to Sequoia.
Yeah.
It was gonna be my first time. I was so excited because I was finally gonna go. And two, he was coming. My babies were coming. So I was like, oh my gosh, I was excited. I booked everything. Like, I booked it. I planned everything, whatever. We got this. Okay, we leave Friday. We leave and see, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just thinking that I was going to book a fucking hotel, an Airbnb close to Sequoia. No, my ass booked the fucking Airbnb. The city was called Bodfish.
What the heck? I don't even know where that's at.
But you know how I came up with like booking that? Because I went on my phone, I saw Sequoia, and I saw Bodfish right next to it, and I was like, close enough.
Yeah.
We'll stay there, and then we'll just drive to. I thought that Sequoia was gonna be like 30 minutes from Bodfish.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's close enough.
Right.
I tell you, I think back to it, I'm like, I was fucking stupid.
How far
Like,
was it from there?
it was 3 hours from
Oh
it
my
was 3
gosh.
hours from home. So I thought, okay, Sequoia's 4 hours from home. So Bodfish is 3 hours from home. So we're only about an hour away from
Yeah.
Sequoia. No, well, Bodfish was still 3 hours away from Sequoia. So I drove 3 hours like away instead of 3 hours like closer. I was so
Oh,
stupid. But I
no.
literally, the reason why I booked it was because I literally just looked at the map and I was like, okay, close enough. I was like, we're staying here. So I book it. And it sucked because once I get there and I realized that Sequoia's 3 fucking hours away from here, I was
Yeah.
like, well, might as fucking well be home. It's 4 hours away from home. Like,
Yeah.
I remember crying and then telling him, and he was just like, it's all right. Like, blah, blah. And I was surprised he was like trying to comfort me, and I was like, what the fuck are we going to do here?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And it was an A cabin, like, the A-shaped
Did
cabin.
you guys at least enjoy that?
I mean, we ended up enjoying it, and then we were supposed to be there for 4 days. We left after 2 days
Wow.
because when we got there, we took our dog. Like, we had a dog. Well, he still has a dog, Koopa.
Yeah.
We took our dog, and when we got there, it was me, him, and the kids and the dog. And when we walked in, so when you walked into the cabin, it was the living room, and then it was the kitchen, and from the kitchen straight, there was a bathroom, and then a bedroom. And then there was the upstairs, which is where the kids wanted to be, because I'm telling you, it was an A cabin, so the up one looked like, it was
Yeah.
cool. Like, it looked like I don't know, they had bunk beds, and yeah, so the kids were like, oh, like, they went up the stairs, and they loved it up there, so they wanted to go there. So that was the second bedroom, right? That bedroom, and then the one downstairs. So the kids were gonna stay up there, and we were gonna stay here.
Yeah.
And at the end of the fucking day, we all fucking ended up staying up there together, and Koopa stayed down there guarding and shit because he would not stop barking at that bedroom and towards that hallway the entire fucking 2 days and 1 night that we were there. We didn't stay for the second night. We didn't stay anymore because I had never till then seen Jose, like Charlie and Luna's dad, scared or like show any like, oh shit, like concern or any like
Yeah.
about something. Like, he's not scared to go outside in the dark or like go through this or
Right.
grab something from the backyard in the night, like, And that time he was like, yeah, let's get our shit, let's go. Because
Like, he felt
Koopa,
it?
yeah, he felt it too. We felt it. Like, we didn't tell the kids. Obviously, we didn't want to scare them or anything, but we were like, for past the kitchen, we wouldn't let him go anymore. Like, when we were there, because we cooked that night. I remember the first night we cooked and made dinner there and stuff, watched a movie. The next day, I think I'm trying to think because I think we stayed 2 nights. I think I had booked it for 4 because it was a 4-day weekend. And then at the end, we ended up staying just 2 days, 2 nights. And then we left the third day to Sequoia. He was like, let's go. We left really early. I left, like, I had booked it for more and we lost it, like, because I was like, no, let's go. And he was like, yeah, let's get out of here. Koopa wouldn't stop barking towards that hallway. And when I went in there, because I was looking for something, I don't know if the iron or something. I was looking for something that I was like, maybe they'll have it there. And it was so fucking cold in that room. And I was like, you just felt it. Like, no, fuck this. So we didn't go back in there. I closed the door to it. We did, besides the bathroom. And we left because it was scary. And we talk about it all the time. Like, we've talked about it multiple times after that happened, and we share about how, Isabel got us lost and took us to this random ass town in Bodfish, and it was haunted because, or something. There was something in that room. You felt it. Koopa wouldn't stop barking, and just like he would just sit. He would sit up and just like be staring dead straight to that hallway and barking and like.
And you didn't like look up like the history around the place?
We looked up the there was no bad like reviews on it or anything.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's saying that they felt something or, like, we put it, though. I'm like, I put my review because I was like, hell no. And then the neighbor next door, what they did have on the reviews was that the neighbor next door was kind of mean or he didn't like noise and, he complains if there's too many cars or blah, blah. But he ended up getting along with my kid's dad. He got along with him. They were talking, I remember the first night, and then the second night in the morning, they were talking and stuff. We stayed, but we made the best of it. We went... There was like a lake around there or something, so we went there. But I was still so upset throughout the whole time because I was like, oh my god, like this wasn't supposed to be it. I was supposed to see Sequoia, like. Aww. But eventually, I did. Now I've gone to Sequoia now twice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you want to play the Would You Rather game with me?
Okay. Sure.
Okay. All right. Well, would you rather drink coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee. Yeah. What's your drink like?
I had iced coffee. It's funny I say that, but I don't know the coffee. My best friend's like coffee. She's an expert. So anytime I need coffee, like, what do I drink? I want something sweet. Yeah. But there's this horchata latte that I really love from this coffee shop by the house. I mean, but a lot of different coffee shops will have it. But I'm always like, if they have that, that's what I'm grabbing. I'm grabbing an horchata latte with the vanilla foam. But yeah.
And then do you sleep in late or do you wake up early?
I wake up early.
Yeah? Like what time?
Saturdays, 5 a.m.
Oh, God.
But though I still lay there, like, but I wake up early. Sunday, I'll be up early tomorrow. And then sometimes even if I don't want to, my best friend, like I said, she works at a coffee shop. Yeah. She'll be calling me at 6 a.m. like, good morning. And just to talk about the randomest shit. And I'm just there in bed and I'm like, hey, like I already know I'm going to be woken up. But yeah.
And then red wine or white wine?
I'm trying to think of the name of it. Prosecco? Prosecco? It's a type of wine or something. I don't know, but that's what I like to drink, and it's white, so I'll say white.
Okay. And then watch a movie or do you read a book?
I think both. Yeah. I do. I've done, right now, I would say a little bit of both. I fell asleep reading a book last night.
What's like your favorite movie?
Oh, my favorite movie?
Yeah.
Like feel-good movie, The Sweetest Thing with Cameron Diaz. Oh, okay. It's a really old one, but yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah.
And what about like your favorite book?
Book right now? Well, right now the one that I'm reading, it's Jay Shetty.
Oh, I like him.
I love him. And right now, so the one that I picked up, well, I have two. What is it called? You Go Girl or something like that. My cousin gave it to me and I hadn't touched it until now. I just picked it up. Right. But then the one that I started reading this week, the Jay Shetty, what is it called? The love languages or love something.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of know what you're talking about. That one. Okay. You started reading it?
I just started reading it. Yeah.
He's great. Do you cook dinner or do you dine out?
Dine out. I love cooking.
Yeah.
But I dine out.
What's like your go-to food?
Oh, shit. Lately, I've been into sushi a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've been craving sushi a lot. I've been going for sushi.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah.
And then chocolate or vanilla flavor?
Vanilla flavor. Vanilla flavor, but chocolate.
Live in the country or live in the city?
Live in the city.
You're a city girl?
Yeah.
Stay home or go out?
I'm entering my stay home era.
Yeah.
But I love going out too, though. But yeah, for now we're gonna. Well, no, I think both. Which is both.
Beach or mountain?
Mountain.
And then museum dates or picnic dates?
Museum.
Travel the world or explore locally?
I think I'll go with what I'm into right now, which is explore locally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely would want to travel the world, but right now I'm very happy with exploring locally.
Is there somewhere you want to travel that you haven't been?
Well, I'm at this year. It's on my vision board and what I'm gonna keep working for. I want to go to Hawaii. I've never been, and I want to take my kids.
Oh.
So, yeah,
That's gonna happen.
that's the one that I'm looking forward to. Hawaii.
And then summer or winter?
I like both. But I'll say summer.
Summer.
Yeah.
And then, do you have any tattoos? And how many?
Yes. Oh, how many?
Yeah.
I have. Oh, I'm like, hold on, let me count. 3, 4, 7, I think.
What was your first tattoo?
My first, no. Actually, my first one was my mom one. Okay, I thought it was. I have another one on my like hip bone. That's the one that makes me laugh. But no, that first one it's here. It's This is "Strength is my mother," and then it's a pink breast cancer ribbon. Yeah, that was my first one. I was 18. Yeah.
That's awesome. And then, what's your favorite, I guess, drink?
Like alcoholic drink?
It could be anything.
Like like me, straight to alcohol, tequila.
Yeah. Okay, tequila.
When I go out, my drink of choice, I'm gonna change it up, but it's been a tequila sunrise.
Okay.
Yeah, they put like some cherry thing on it, and sometimes they'll add an orange. Different bars will put it, but I don't tequila sunrise. Keep them coming.
What's your favorite artist?
I mean, I love music.
Yeah.
It depends on the mood.
Okay, so let's do like reggaeton.
Reggaeton?
Who's like your go-to artist?
I really like. I have all these different ones.
I know, you have a lot.
Yeah. I mean, right now, the first I could think of right now is I really love Karol G. I love her. But from old ones, I love Zion y Lennox.
Uh-huh.
Those, I love them. And, who else? And then from new ones, right now, I love Yeri Moi.
Yeah.
That's her name, Yeri Moi.
I found her through you.
Yeah. I'm like, I love her stuff. It's so like, I don't know what the word is, like, no mames. Like, it's yeah, the things that they say, I'm like, fuck. But
yeah, it's intense.
Yeah.
What about like your favorite rock band? Like who's like your go-to?
I love The Offspring. Mm-hmm. The Offspring. I love, who else? I went to see Blink-182 with my kids. I do really like them, but I just kind of, I went for the experience too. But who else? I mean, I love Nirvana, The Offspring. Yeah. There's this other one. It's a smaller band, but Nico Vega. Mm-hmm. I really like them. And then, yeah.
What's your favorite color?
Pink.
Pink?
I like pink, yeah.
Aw. What's your favorite song?
Oh, again, depends on the mood, but right now, one that I'm like, I'll say the one that I'm in love with right now. It's by Olivia Dean, "Be My Own Boyfriend."
Okay, I haven't heard it.
Yeah, it's an old one, but I just heard it too. You know, I mean, and she's nominated right now for Best New Artist because she's new, but that song is like from 2022, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the one that I've been having on repeat lately.
Do you have a favorite comedian?
I actually was looking up for the tickets yesterday. I went to see Rene Vaca.
Yes.
Last year. No, wait, no, not last year. That was 2025. I went to see him 2024. Mm-hmm. That was my first comedy show, and I saw him, and it was so fun. It was so good. But then I went to see this other guy. He's Mexican. I can't remember his name.
He's Mexican?
Yeah. I'm like, he's Mexican. Because he comes from, like, he was touring.
Right.
So, I mean, like, aside from he's Mexican, that's where he, like, resides. And so I remember that he was here for touring. Yeah. And I was like, I have to see him. Because I kept seeing him on videos, but I can't remember his name. He wears glasses. He was chubby. I don't know. But yeah, Rene Vaca. And I saw earlier he posted that he's going to do a show here this week. And I checked. I was like, oh man, I want to go, but right now, my life's a little bit in limbo because of the stuff going on with my
Yeah.
son. So I'm like, I can't buy tickets or plan right now.
Right.
But yeah, I'm like top of my head right now. Renavaca, he's really funny.
How many concerts have you been to?
Oh shit.
And what's like your favorite one that you've gone to?
I've gone to in the last 3 years, 2 more concerts that I've went since I became an adult. But I've gone to probably like more than 20 now.
That's good.
Yeah, probably like more than 20. Oh, Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
When you said bands, I'm like Foo Fighters because I'm like, I know I have
Yes.
more. But one of my favorites, that was a good one. But then also, I went to see Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Oh, I went to see Shakira. That one was a good one.
Yes.
And that one was one that I, like, I remember being 18, 19 and being like, oh man, I want to see her. And then she didn't tour for like 9, 10 years
Yeah.
because she was doing the mom life and stopped touring and stuff. So I remember when she went on tour, I think her last one was El Dorado tour.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I think I had my son only, but we were on one income. There was no way Isabel was going to be able to afford
Yeah.
to go, so I couldn't go. And I remember being like, oh man, when am I going to get a chance again,
Mm-hmm.
And the chance came now, and it was at the perfect time. So that was a really good one. It was like a full circle moment because I went by myself,
Yeah.
but I had such a good time. And it took me back to so many memories of when I was younger and then when I was a mom already and then now where I'm at. And I was like, it was fun. So I think that one was a meaningful one.
I saw the Foo Fighters at Cal Jam.
Oh, okay. Nice.
They did like
Is
this big thing. It was like a festival.
Yeah, I was going to say that's like a festival and
Yeah,
whatnot. Yeah.
It was so awesome. That one was.
Was it here?
It was in Glen Helen, San Bernardino.
Oh, okay.
It was,
Cool.
yeah, it was crazy.
They, I saw them at BMO Stadium it was also 2024. I'm like, was it last year? No. But they recently had one too over there in LA at the Kia Forum, like
I saw
a
that.
fundraiser one.
Yeah.
I swear I was gonna go, but I did something that weekend that I was like, okay, the $100 I'm gonna spend on that concert plus parking, all
Yeah.
that, it's gonna be more than that. But I was like, the money I'm gonna spend on this, I'd rather spend it on this weekend.
Right.
I think I went somewhere. I did something. I don't remember what. But and I was like, I already saw them, Isabel. It's okay. So I didn't go, but they're really good.
Why do you love Taylor Swift? Because I know you were like.
Her lyrics.
Yeah.
I love her lyrics. I love her lyrics, what her music says. And I love the happy dancey music too,
Yeah.
But for me it's her writing, like the lyrics that she writes. If just I feel like, I mean, she has such a, like, people, they hate her because I'm just talking about the music.
Yeah.
I love her lyrics, and one of my favorite artists is Adele too, and Adele's writing. I mean, I wouldn't. Well, no, yeah, I would compare it because they're both my favorite. Like, I love both of them, their music,
Yeah.
and Adele's writing. And if you were to put it down and read her lyrics, and you read Taylor Swift, some of her best, like, sad songs,
Yeah.
like, the lyrics are so, like, oh my gosh, and you would think it's Adele. So there's people that, like, love Adele, but they hate Taylor Swift because Taylor Swift's all glittery and blah, and like the way she dresses and, like, stuff, and then Adele is very, like, black and mature. But I love both, so
Yeah.
I think, yeah. But I love her because of the lyrics of her songs, and then I'm able to relate. There's one song of hers, Could've, Would've, Should've, that it's literally like she knew my life and wrote it down, and even knew my age that I was when I went through that and everything, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I love her.
That's
My friends
awesome.
hate her. Like, my best friends. Wait, do you like Taylor Swift?
She's growing on me.
Yeah. I mean, there's songs,
Yes,
yeah. As
she
long
is.
as I
She's
tell my friends,
growing.
I'm like, as long as you guys are, like, okay with, like, listening to a few songs or something, like, yeah. I'll take it. But
Yeah.
yeah. That's it. And then now my daughter loves her too, so I feel like it's like a sharing, like, we bond over
Yeah.
her music, and we went to her concert together. It was my daughter's first concert. And yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, do you want to share any more messages or?
I mean, overall, I think the purpose for this was to share, like, what my story was like, what my journey's like, and where I'm at now. And I continue to do my social media and my videos and share my life because I hope that it inspires people. And I know it does inspire women. I know it does. And that's why I continue to do it, because I constantly get the reminders and the messages of like, you inspired me to do this by myself, or to go on a road trip, go to a concert, go to the movies, go to dinner by myself, like those things. And to me, it's like, it means a lot. Like I said, my social media started from a place of like feeling empty and trying to fill a void or something. And then it healed me because I was able to be reminded all the time by these women, strangers that, I won't put, like, they were complete strangers that were like messaging me and just saying like, hey, like, you got this, like this and that. And just because I was so brave to share the good and the bad and know that it was inspiring people, I'll continue to do it, and I'll continue to share. And then, I mean, as long as it brings me joy, it really will. And I think that for people who continue to watch my stuff and relate, I do think of that all the time too, that there's girls who watch me because they could relate. And I always say, like, I hope that they stick around in love because if they could relate because of my past, I hope that they stick around enough and I could keep inspiring them to be where I'm at right now too, and that's something that keeps me motivated to and to just be like, keep being yourself and it takes a lot, and it is bravery to go on there and really share your most genuine self. And even if it's like, sometimes I say things that I'm sure people are not going to agree with, or people are going to be like, ay, esta pendeja, or like, ay, or she did this, or she did that, or don't agree with it or whatnot. But I know that it does some good. So, yeah. But, yeah.
Do you want to share your handles, your social handles?
Well, I'm sure these bitches like now how I really talk to them, I'm sure these bitches are gonna be watching. They better, because I'm gonna tell them all to come and watch. But if you guys don't know who I am or follow me, my Instagram, TikTok, everything, it's Isabel at IsabelXOX_. That's it. Yeah.
All right. In conclusion, anything else you want to say before we go?
Thank you for inviting me, reaching out. When I got your message, I was like, I've never done this before. But then I thought of like, you have a purpose, you do this with intention. And I was like, I want to support too. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on the podcast. I appreciate you. And I'm super supportive of you and your page. And I hope you keep inspiring everybody. And, I wish you luck on your healing journey, because it's never going to end. Yeah. And